Very good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much, my again very dear friend Ketan Bhai, Jayesh Bhai, and all the council colleagues. It's like the homecoming for me since after my tenure when it ended in 2024 as a regional council member, probably for the second time. Last time also during the audit season only I came. So it's a homecoming, and first of all I would request all of you for the big round of applause for all of you. Why? Because first listen to me, that since this is the Saturday, it's not a working day, and even during this time of 2:30, right, all of you are present here, meaning thereby all of you are really interested for knowing about the subject which is allotted for the day actually. So huge round of applause for all of you. First from my side, I must give you a compliment. In Mumbai I know it is very difficult. When Jayesh Bhai invited me to deliver a talk on this particular subject actually, so I straight away said yes to him, because in our Ahmedabad, the 2nd and 4th is a Saturday is holiday, chutti. So okay, I am available. But I forgot that since as of now I am the central auditor to Bank of Maharashtra, and as you all know that Bank of Maharashtra is coming up with the result immediately after the end of the quarter, and straight away from here I am rushing to Pune, because the audit committee is on 14th and board is on 15th. Right? This is the only subject which is interested to me, and I have learned some experience throughout my career after becoming chartered accountant in 1998. No other subject other than this bank audit is my domain. तो मैं उसके ऊपर कुछ बोलता ही नहीं हूँ क्योंकि कुछ आता ही नहीं है. And second thing, for this particular session, me and my team, more particularly my team, have prepared this presentation. But to be very honest, my style of discussing the issue is extempore. I have already submitted this presentation to WRC. It is there with the WRC and will be obviously circulated to all of you. The only thing is that I would like to discuss extempore on case study basis, right? Because just before the before this week, probably this Monday and Tuesday, Ketan bhai, our office had arranged one strategic training program at IIM Ahmedabad for all the partners and top senior officials or the chartered accountants of our firm. A 2-day session, residential program that was a customized program on strategic management and leadership. So some of the things which I have learned from IIM Ahmedabad during these 2 days time, it was a classroom type program actually, study. But they believe in the case study basically, not in the discussing whatever is mentioned in this presentation or textbook study. Right? And my throughout the journey as a chartered accountant, the only experience which I have gained, experience not expertise, is only because of the bank audit and the philosophy of the firm with whom I am associated, Manubhai and Sa LLP, right, wherein we have decided since decades, right, that we will go for the statutory or central statutory audit of the bank. We will not go with any concurrent or internal or stock or forensic or whatever way, right? So my experience as an engagement partner for these 3 banks, Canara Bank, State Bank, and now Bank of Maharashtra, right? I would like to discuss something very important issues which is relevant during this time or this era in the banking sector per se, right? So if you wish, I'll go by slide to slide, that is fine. If you wish, I can discuss extempore only. And first, kudos and compliments to WRC because I was here for 6 years as the regional council members. Probably for the first time, the session is starting dot on time. So my responsibility is to finish the session again dot on time. So in another 90 minutes time, which is available now, precisely 87, right, we will discuss the most important issues related to these red flags and early warning signals, because I am sure, because all of you are sitting here on this Saturday, you are interested to discuss those issues which are relevant for your, whatever way you are associated with the bank. So what is the early warning signal or red flags? Dictionary meaning jo bhi kuch hai, right? The only point is, in my humble opinion, कि जब बोरोवर की तबीयत ठीक नहीं होती है ना, तब ये सिग्नल अपने आप निकल के आते हैं. दिस इज द केस. सो एकदम प्रॉपरली जयेश भाई ने चूज किया ये सब्जेक्ट जब हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया, बिकॉज द बोरोवर बिहेवियर एंड द ट्रांजैक्शन ऑडिट in the account of the borrower, that is very, very crucial. As we all know that now the IRA compliance is totally automated. There is no manual intervention. All of us are giving that certificate in whatever capacity, that there is no change in the system, no manual intervention in the system, right? So 90 days जो भी कोई NPA के criteria हैं for term loan as well as the cash credit, whatever the form of this thing, finance, right? Everything is automated. But जब मैं स्टेचुटरी ऑडिट के लेक्चर्स देता हूँ तब भी मैं बोलता हूँ कि इट्स अ मीथ, एंड ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड इट दैट इट्स अ मीथ. इफ इट्स नॉट अ मीथ, देन there should not have been any MOCs related to the classification of the advances. Simple. मुझे तो इतना ही पता चलता है कि अगर सिस्टम में सब कुछ सही है, एंड इफ द लॉजिक इज फेड प्रॉपरली, right, if I am a borrower and if I have not obliged my by paying my interest or installment or whatever it is, right, the system should automatically classify the account as NPA. Where is the question of giving the MOC for that, right? But the thing is, religiously all of us are giving MOCs wherever it is applicable. तो अगर वो सिस्टम प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो क्या है? We'll start with one classic example which I have faced very recently. For example, that in one of the case, the borrower was sanctioned 170 crore of term loan rupees, and the business of the borrower was to construct the road, that is infrastructure industry, right? So the loan amount was 170 crore rupees, and the moratorium, because since the road construction of that patch was under construction, obviously the cash flow will start after the completion of the project. So the moratorium was given for 2 years, commencement of DCCO, date of commencement of commercial operation, as we all know, DCCO, or COD, shortly हम लोग बोल सकते हैं, right? That was after the 2 years of the disbursement. So the moratorium was permitted for repayment of principal for 2 years. For example, my loan was sanctioned in the year 2021. So the moratorium was up to 2023. But as per the sanction terms, the interest is to be paid as and when applied. So meaning thereby the borrower is obliged to pay the interest on monthly basis. So what is the what is the mode of the payment of interest? Obviously the standing instruction. That is on the date of the charging of interest in the loan account, term loan account, right? The same day the system will, since the standing instruction is there, system will take the credit from the current account, that is CASA, either current or saving account, probably current account because of the big company, right? What I observed, I was doing the quarterly review audit actually. What I observed in quarterly review, it's a review, that is a negative assurance. We are not giving the true and fair picture of the entity which we are doing, right? What I observed, I have 2 days time only. So what I observed कि generally हम लोग क्या करते हैं, all of us know what is SMA 0, what is SMA 1, what is SMA 2, and what is the implications of SMA. SMA मालूम है सबको, right? So we know what is SMA 0, what is SMA 1, what is SMA 2. And if any of the account is appearing in even in SMA 0, and if the value is more than 50 crore, the exposure is more than 50 crore, CRILIC reporting is mandatory by every 2 weeks rather, fortnightly basis. Right? Now अभी आप समझो, मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि हितेश पोमल कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, who is into the infrastructure company, right? He has sanctioned loan by ABC Bank Limited. The thing is that the moratorium of principal repayment will start after the end of 24 months of first disbursement. But Hitesh Pomal Construction Private Limited, the company is obliged to pay the interest on monthly basis, which they are paying on regular basis. Right? So from 22, when the loan was sanctioned and the disbursed, right, till today, 24, right, the borrower was paying, interest was debited on 30 or 31st of the month, end of the month, and on the very next day, the same is being taken from the current account maintained with the bank, right? So in one of the quarter, I saw that why the interest debited for 3 months, amounting to 3.75 crores, 1.25 crore each roughly, right? There is no principal repayment obligation on the borrower. But there was so meaning thereby in 3 months time, which I was reviewing that quarter, right? In 3 months time, he has to pay 3.75 crore interest charge on that 170 crore rupees loan, which is disbursed. So for 3 months, the interest is charged amounting to 3.75. Vis-a-vis the borrower paid 1.30 crore. Even then, the account was nowhere appearing in any of the overdrawing statement of the bank or the branch, which I was doing. Second thing, that since the same is not appearing in SMA 012, it is not obviously reported in CRILIC also. Reporting any default in the CRILIC, right, will have the reflection on the CIBIL of the borrower. Okay. So total exposure of the bank in that particular branch was roughly around 560 crore in 3 SPVs of the group. और मुझे पता चला कि इसका ग्रुप का फाइनेंशियल हेल्थ इज डिटोरिएटिंग, because the infrastructure projects are highly capital intensive industry with a low rate of return. Valuation बढ़ता है, but जो yearly return rate है as compared to other industry, it is low and it is highly capital intensive industry, right? So in that particular case, I did inquire with the branch when the borrower has not paid approximately 2 months of interest. Because the SMA reporting requires us that if there is a delay or the default by 1 day even, in term loan case, the SMA reporting is required to be made. And the CRILIC, ultimately CRILIC में reporting होगा. The point here is, it was nowhere mentioned in any of the exceptional reports. Then I inquired with the branch, there is no rocket science, इसमें क्या मैंने नया किया? कि भाई 3 महीने का इंटरेस्ट था, नहीं आया, 1 महीने का आया, 2 महीने का डिफॉल्ट है, वाई दी अकाउंट इज नॉट अपीयरिंग इन SMA 2, राइट? देन they, as usual, as we all are facing that difficulty, they will try to avoid us. Delay technique जिसको बोलते हैं, राइट? और मेरा पर्सनल एक सिंपल, आई विल गिव यू द अनदर एग्जांपल आल्सो. मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस ये कहता है, एंड आई बिलीव, एंड जो आई हैव बीन टॉट बाय माय प्रिंसिपल एंड द सीनियर्स, दैट इन ऑडिट इफ यू आस्क फॉर एनी इंफॉर्मेशन एंड डॉक्यूमेंट्स, if the auditee is reluctant to give that information or the document, irrespective of the fact that whether it is important or not, you should be after that. In one of my experience with the State Bank of India, I did inquire with the local head office Mumbai. I was doing that, right? And I inquired about one of the statement during the quarterly review. The sir, I want this information. I want the repayment schedule of this borrower. So he was delaying that. This is review. Anyway, you are giving negative assurance. Where is the question? वो मार्च में देखेंगे ये करेंगे वो करेंगे. So for full day, right, in spite of my 2-3 requests, right, I didn't got that document or the information actually. तो मैंने कहा कि sir, I promise you that I just want to touch that paper. Trust me. I will touch that paper and give it back to you. That is my promise to you. But you give me, for my satisfaction, give me that paper. That is nothing but the statement of account of the borrower. Now here coming to the case studies which we are discussing and which I have recently faced. Right, the point here was that all of us know the Theo balance concept. What is the Theo balance in the bank, right? So we are not discussing what is Theo balance. But since the Theo outstanding was less than the theoretical balance of that particular borrower, which we are discussing, so the outstanding was 170 crores, right? And the Theo balance was 186 crore. तो मैंने उनको ऐसा बताया कि how come this is possible? Because the disbursement anyway was up to 153 crore only. So how come the Theo balance is 186 crores? तो बोला प्रिंसिपल के साथ साथ इंटरेस्ट भी आपने कैपिटलाइज किया है. Moratorium was, as per the sanction term, moratorium was for principal repayment. But while creating the master or whatsoever had happened, or by manual intervention, loan was sanctioned in 2022. But for whatsoever the best known to them, there was a manual intervention in the system. कैसे हुआ? फिर मैंने उनका फर्दर डिगिंग करवाया. मैंने कहा कि नहीं, आप उसको जरा देखो. There is something more than what we are seeing. The thing was, there was the extension of DCCO. Project completion date जो था, that was extended by 7 months or 6 months. So resulting into the repayment period will start after the end of the another 6 months. So at that point of time, interest capitalization, there is one CBS में एक fill है, interest is also to be capitalized. They made yes. I don't know, till that time I was sure that there is a manual intervention. But the question was that whether it was at the time of creation of master way back in 2022 or when the extension of DCCO was permitted by the competent authority in 2024 end. The thing was that ultimately, after my so many follow-ups, I came to know that there is a manual intervention only in 2024. मैंने बताया कि अगर 170 करोड़ का अगर किसी का लोन है, and if the company is constructing the road and the project size is so huge, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि भाई मेरा इंटरेस्ट में, I was under that impression that my interest is also under moratorium. It is not like that. ये सब बड़े कंपनीज में तो उनके पूरे डेडिकेटेड टीम, बजट, कैश फ्लो, एवरीथिंग इज देयर. So whether this manual intervention was intentional or unintentional, I am not the right person to decide. The only thing is that since I am giving the certificate bank as a whole, that IRAC norms are totally automated and there is no manual intervention in the system. So the question is that since the 90 days delinquency norms and everything is all settled, it is since more than 10 years to the best of my knowledge. अभी किसी को पूछने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप कोई भी अगर कोई कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट भी करते हैं तो हमको पता है या statutory branch audit भी करते हैं, we know that in case of term loan, if there is a default of in repayment of principal and or interest by 90 days, the account is gone. Right? And after the ILFS saga, the Reserve Bank of India introduced this one more mechanism to curb this, that is SMA reporting, special mention account. In SMA reporting, if there is a delay there is a default by the borrower, even for 1 day in term loan, it will be considered as SMA 0, that is early warning signal. अगर मेरी ब्रांच में 10,000 अकाउंट्स हैं, my branch is P segment branch, and I have to maintain 10,000 account, and I am the manager of the bank. Is it possible to see each and every account every day? Answer is no. If you are a concurrent auditor, is it possible to see each and every account every quarter, every month? Answer is again no. We have to select our samples, and on that basis only we will come to the conclusion whether the system is behaving properly or not. Now the thing here is that up to from 1 day delinquency to 30th day, the account will appear in SMA 0. 31 to 60 days, account will be SMA 1, and 61 to 89th day, the account will be in SMA 2. So SMA 2 is most important. So during the quarterly visit, we are doing on a quarterly basis. I am a central auditor, suppose, right? So I am doing the audit of the particular branch for 4 quarters on a quarterly basis. Every quarter, I will not go to each and every account of the bank or the branch. I will go by these delinquencies reports, overdrawings, as well as the SMA reporting and everything. Right? So the point here is कि ऐसा नहीं होगा किसी भी ब्रांच में, in whatever capacity all of us are doing the audit of stock audit or concurrent audit or whatever revenue audit or whatever it is, branch statutory audit. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि 90 days का 91 हुआ होगा और सिस्टम ने क्लासीफाई नहीं किया होगा. That is not possible. And again, so the point is, in our recent discussion with the Reserve Bank of India, SSM, so I had requested, I'm not telling this proudly, but the thing is that I had suggested that now the only thing or the only mechanism available with the bank is to play around the system. So how you will come to know that in spite of not paying the obligation for interest repayment for 2 months, account is nowhere appearing. And the beauty of this account was, since the exposure in the particular branch in this group was more than 500 crore rupees, and the account was, or the financial health of the group was little bit in trouble, that was clearly evident, right? Then they invited some of the investor to invest in this company. सपोज मेरी कंपनी की फिनेंशियल हेल्थ सही नहीं है और आप मेरी कंपनी में स्ट्रेटेजिक इन्वेस्टर बन के आते हो, तो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट यू विल चेक माय सिबिल रिपोर्ट कि भाई हितेश भाई का सिबिल रिपोर्ट क्या है, पहले चेक करो. हाउ इज द फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन ऑफ द बैंक ऑफ द कंपनी विच आई इंटेंड टू बाय और विच आई इंटेंड टू इन्वेस्ट इन, राइट? सो इट इज नो वेयर अपीयरिंग. But the minute you come to know with this observation that the Hitesh Bhai's companies, all the 3 SPVs are in somewhere in SMA 1 or SMA 2, immediately there will be impact on the decision of the investor, obviously. Either he will go for it or he will have the hard negotiation with the, so far as the pricing of the company is concerned. So the point here is that what I am discussing in this case study is the only thing is that I told categorically to the management that I don't know, I am not the forensic auditor. The only thing is that whether it is this manual intervention is done intentionally or unintentionally, I leave it to your investigation. It is not my role. The only thing is that it is 100% true that there is a manual intervention. Second most important part is of the manual intervention. Again, I will take a minute. In one of the case, at that time I was not the branch auditor, and I come across one case wherein the borrower was sanctioned 28 crore of working capital limit. But at the end of March for that particular year we were doing our audit, right? The outstanding was 37 crore, 38 crore something. And again the account was nowhere, anywhere appearing in any of the exceptional report. Then my team inquired, but the auditee as usual, delay technique. Right? अरे sir, इसमें कुछ नहीं है. My team member called me that sir, you will have to visit the branch. मैंने कहा इतना छोटा ब्रांच है, क्या है ऐसा, कौन सा इशू है? बल्कि सर प्लीज यू कम. तो फिर मैंने उनको ऐसा पूछा, माई क्वेश्चन वॉज टू माई टीम मेंबर दैट अगर इनके किसी भी रिपोर्ट में नहीं आया तो ऐसा कौन सा रॉकेट साइंस है जिससे आपको पता चला दैट देर इज ए डेलिक्वेंसी, 28 करोड़ का 38 करोड़ द बोरोअर इज यूटिलाइजिंग एंड देर इज नो रिपोर्टिंग एनी वेयर इन एनी ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ ओवर ड्रॉइंग्स. ठीक है. तो बोला सर के वाइल रिव्यूइंग माई फाइल I come across one paper wherein it was the in principle sanctioned by another bank to take over this account. And one of the condition of the sanction letter was that the borrower to regularize its overdrawings in the existing bank first. Even I did discuss with the concurrent auditor also, trust me. और फिर मैंने जाके वो मैनेजर सर को पूछा लेट इवनिंग. मैंने कहा सर, तो ही ट्राइड टू टच माई फीट, नो एग्जैगरेशन आई एम टेलिंग यू, कि सर इट वॉज विद द वेरी मीन्स के नॉट विद द बैड इंटेंशन, इट वॉज विद दैट गुड इंटेंशन बिकॉज वी हैव गिवन देम द एग्जिट रूट दैट वॉज डिसाइडेड. मैंने कहा और कुछ नहीं, आप मुझे वो तिजोरी की चाबी कितनी बार खोली है वो रिपोर्ट दिखाओ, वट एवर नेम यू कॉल. जनरली द कॉल लॉग रिपोर्ट इज देयर in the bank. Okay, how many times the branch has opened the system for whatsoever reason, sometimes for the good reason also, just like we discussed extension of DCCO that is required. And if the borrower is paying, in one of the classic example again I came across with the huge amount in the State Bank of India itself, in one of the TV production company. Sir. Sir, it is done at the branch only. And branch manager was so confident, right, that sir, we have not done anything here at the branch. Whatever the changes is done, it is done at the either head office or the zonal office. And it got proved that the branch only changed this. Because you see, who is the first owner of this account? That is branch, obviously. So वो mechanism तो रहेगा sir 100%. If any of the change is there, means not with the, even with the good intention or whatever the modification in the terms and condition, right, वो change कौन करेगा? Head office थोड़ी करेगी. Not possible. It is at the branch only. It was done by the branch. Second most important issue which I was about to discuss is about that particular account of this which I come across in State Bank of India. ये तो close corner है, that's why we are discussing. Otherwise I should not. The thing is that in State Bank of India, we decided that in one of the local head office in northern states, Seven Sister States local head office, the point was that there were so many agricultural advances. और मैं always बोलता हूँ in the lighter sense कि IRAC के जो proposals हैं, right, or the conditions which is mentioned, 90 days delinquencies. बट सो फार एज जिसने भी ड्राफ्ट किया होगा, जिसने भी इनिशिएट किया होगा, वो आज की डेट में इंडिया में किसी भी बैंकिंग सेक्टर में अगर एग्रीकल्चर एडवांसेस का सही तरीके से बता दे तो उसको भारत रत्न देना चाहिए, ये मानता हूँ मैं. आई हैव अटेंडेड मेनी ऑफ द सेशंस ऑफ द बैंकर्स sitting in the audience also, try to get so many information as possible. Because suppose, for example, if I am allotted any branch which is dealing with the agriculture advance only, right? In agriculture advance, we all know short crop, long crop, everything we know. राइट, आपको पता ही नहीं चले बाबा. और सेकंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज इफ द रेगुलेटर इज गिविंग एनी फॉरबियरेंस ड्यू टू नेचुरल कैलामिटीज, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज नेचुरल कैलामिटीज, वो चाहे फ्लड ले लो या कुछ भी ले लो. राइट, सो हाउ मीन्स के कितना एक्सटेंशन हुआ दैट वी एज एन ऑडिटर सिटिंग देयर इन द ब्रांच विल नॉट बी, और द प्रैक्टिकली मेरा 28 ईयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस कहता है कि दैट इज प्रैक्टिकली नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर मी. If I have done any branch, and if the branch is into the agriculture business, right, even though I have signed the audit report, I am not 100% sure that whether my interpretation is correct or wrong. That is not possible. Now the thing is that the central auditor who was dealing with that eastern state, actually Seven Sisters states LHO, right, Assam and all, right, he made some hue and cry in the management meeting that perpetual facility is permitted. Kisan credit card, as we all know, case credit facility. Remind me if I forget to discuss about the case credit. That is also very interesting. But the thing is that in management decided that irrespective of whatever forbearance for whatsoever reason permitted by the Reserve Bank of India, let us decide as a policy of the bank that irrespective of the forbearance permitted to the agriculture sector by the Reserve Bank of India, if there is no credit for more than 3 years, short crop, long crop, natural calamity, you discount everything, right, we'll make the provision in that particular account. ठीक है. So while coming from the corporate office to the hotel, actually, I am not good at the computer. That's the reason I am not playing the slides also, sir. And that is being prepared by my team. I have not done anything. The only point, sorry. It has gone. Now the thing is, the only logic came in my mind that if this delinquency report can be generated in the system for agriculture advances product for more than 3 years, is it possible to generate for other products wherein there is no credit for 90 days? It is as simple as that, no rocket science at all. I did discuss with my ADP manager in the bank, right? He told me, he was a Gujarati, Vipul bhai thai sake, are 100% thai sake, sir. So I sir, I want that report on my table tomorrow morning. ठीक है. But the thing is, there was unwritten rule in the bank that whatever information other than the snacks or tea coffee, everything will come from the CFO's chamber. CFO's chamber was on right side of my chamber, right? And that Bengali Babu is my very dear friend. As of even he has retired, but he is my very dear friend today also, right? And he is always reluctant to give anything. So then I inquired with the Vipul bhai, કે Vipul bhai શું થયું? પેલો રિપોર્ટ થયો? Ah sir, I am giving. 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And again, as I told in my initial discussion, जो information नहीं मिलती है ना, वो तो लेनी ही है, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. If it is important or it is not important, it is irrespective of that fact. Then he, in strictest confidence, told me that, sir, I have already submitted to CFO, sir. क्या CFO sir को बोलो हितेश भाई को चाहिए. CFO came to me, अरे sir, this is quarterly audit, why you are going into this deep and so and so, right? Branch close हो गया रात को 8 बजे, branch में कुछ नहीं मिलता. Sir, I promise you that I will touch that paper which Vipul bhai has given to you with the promise that I will give it back to you without looking at the content of the same. That is my promise to you. Now the thing is, in the State Bank, the mechanism is, I don't know, I don't know whether you know about this or not. The highest of the region, highest exposure in a particular borrower in a region, right, that is National Banking Group, that is NBG, is 50 crores. If I have to apply for loan more than 50 crore, it will go to mid corporate, then to large corporate, like that only. ठीक है, up to 50 crores it is with the NBG. And in the very first account I saw that the sanction or disbursed amount is 50 crore, outstanding is 52 crores. तो मैंने कहा क्या हुआ, मोरेटोरियम था क्या? तो बोले हाँ मोरेटोरियम था. Easy answer. कि मोरेटोरियम था. मैं कहा सर इंटरेस्ट का भी मोरेटोरियम था? कि हाँ सर इंटरेस्ट का भी मोरेटोरियम था. Oh, very good. Then I told my team member, because the account number was given there in that paper itself. मैंने कहा CBS में देख इस account का. So for 2 months, the borrower has paid the interest debited and credited, taken from the current account. 50 crores straight away disbursement, or 50 crores straight away disbursement, that was a reimbursement. Again in loan, it should be avoided, it should not be reimbursed to the extent possible. The purpose for which the loan is obtained, उनका vendor को ही payment जाना चाहिए. But it was reimbursed, meaning thereby debiting term loan account and crediting it to the current account of the borrower. Simple. That is a reimbursement. From current account, immediately that was transferred to some other account. मैंने कहा sir, borrower had paid for 2 months. Jokingly I said, sir, he has paid for 2 months. Arey, we have given the moratorium. If at all he wants to pay, he can pay. It is his discretionary decision. Oh, wonderful, yeah. The person who is availing the loan of 50 crore or 100 crore, he must have the budget of the cash flow. It is not that a joke कि मैं 5 लाख का लोन लेता हूँ तो चलो ठीक है दे दिया. Right? And trust me, sir, that account was NPA. And in the audit, I always used to say my team, and my principal also used to say this to us also at that time when we were article or the clerk, that in audit, you ask as many as questions possible. Out of this, if you ask 10 questions, out of these 7 may be a stupid or a moveless question to the auditee. उसको ऐसा लगे कि इसको कुछ पता नहीं चलता है. It is easy and it's good for us also. But that 3 important question, right, will be very helpful to opine. That will be very, very helpful. So in this particular case, it was a case of quick mortality. And in case of quick mortality case is obviously, as we all know, what is quick mortality? We all know, right? Within 12 months, if account slips to NPA, that is a quick mortality. And if this is quick mortality, barabar, then in that case, the staff accountability, auditor's role, even controlling office role, everything will come into the picture because vigilance will come into the picture. ठीक है? Then I told him that sir, हितेश भाई इसको नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में देख लेंगे. ही इज डूइंग हिज ड्यूटी यार, इसमें तो बेचारा तो वो कर सकता है. सपोज आई वुड हैव बीन एट हिज प्लेस, आई वुड आल्सो हैव प्लीडेड कि सर विल टेक केयर ड्यूरिंग नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर. मैंने कहा नहीं सर, आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू टू क्लासीफाई दिस अकाउंट एज एनपीए ओनली. इट इज एनपीए बाय ऑल मीन्स. द ओनली पॉइंट इज दैट आई वॉन्ट टू लुक एट द थिंग्स फ्रॉम द फॉरेंसिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. तो बोले वो कैसे? मैं कहा सर इन द सेंस that the borrower, you have reimbursed entire 50 crore rupees to them. And I want to satisfy myself that those 2 months interest which was paid by the borrower is not out of my funds. How come? 50 crore loan account debit, 50 crore current account credit, 49.50 lakhs transferred to another account, 50 lakhs is kept in that account only, और उसमें से मैंने 2 महीने का interest दिया. If this is so, right, this is red flag account. Because he has paid the interest obligation for 2 months out of my own finance only. In one of the case, again, in one of the case that the borrower, again classic case, wonderful. I hope कि आप लोगों को ये देखने में कोई ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं होगा, है ना? कुछ नहीं है, मैंने भी नहीं देखा, इसके लिए मैं भी नहीं देख रहा हूँ. In one of the, again, very recent case, a very interesting case, the borrower applied for the loan of 110 crore to the bank. The borrower was into the research activity or something, जो gadget बनाते हैं, उसमें था. ठीक है, okay. What is the collateral security offered? Collateral security, as per the sanction term was, will not go into the detail for paucity of time. Collateral security was offered by way of fixed deposit of 30% of the loan amount. What is the 30%? That is 33 crore rupees. 110 crore and 33 crore rupees. अरे वंडरफुल, मैंने कहा ये ऐसा कौन बोरोर है जिसके पास 33 करोड़ जेब में है और 110 करोड़ देता है. Suppose I would have been at his place, I would have created some property, land, building, equipment, plant machinery, whatever it is. And with the higher volume or higher valuation, I would have offered this. So my collateral coverage ratio would have been much higher than this. तो मैंने कहा सर 33 करोड़ collateral security है upfront and that too before disbursement. तो बोले यस सर. यस सर सिंपली बोल दिया तो फिर भी एक वो दिमाग में जो रहता है ना. मैंने कहा सर फिक्स डिपॉजिट दिखाएंगे, दिखा दिया. तो मैंने कहा मुझे फिक्स डिपॉजिट क्रिएशन डेट दिखना है कि कब क्रिएट किया. ट्रस्ट मी, it is on the paper. 19 crore of the fixed deposit was made out of our disbursement only. An account slipped to NP on 13th month. 110 crore. देखो अभी भी RBI for this sustainability report of Reserve Bank of India last which they published in December 24, RBI को 3 concern सबसे ज़्यादा है. First is the exposure in the banking sector in retail sector, number 1. Right. Second is about this gold loan. RBI is after that. Evergreening. We know the terminology evergreening. Gold is the best possible way of evergreening. We all know that in case of case credit or term loan, let us go back to Iraq. In case credit or term loan, case credit or overdraft, even though my account outstanding is less than the drawing power, but there is no credit or credit is insufficient to cover the interest charged during the 90 days time, account is gone. That is NPA. ठीक है ना? It is very clear. In case of term loan, it is 90 days payment of interest and or installment, whatever is applicable. अच्छा. In case of case credit, अभी गोल्ड लोन में सारे बैंक्स NBFCs आप देख लो कहीं पे. आई डिड डिस्कस विद मेनी ऑफ आवर कंटेम्प्ररी सेंट्रल ऑडिटर्स ऑल्सो. दे ऑल हैव फाइंड द यूनिक प्रोडक्ट दैट गोल्ड लोन इन द नेचर ऑफ केस क्रेडिट. एंड व्हाट इज द कंडीशन, आप देख लेना कोई भी ब्रांच आप करते हो 50,000 का लोन देख लेना खाली, बराबर. व्हाट इज द कंडीशन ऑफ रीपेमेंट? बुलेट रीपेमेंट. And bullet repayment for interest as well as principal both. So if we go by the basic, and he has the checkbook facility available with him, he can utilize the same fund whenever he wants to use as per the DP available. ठीक है ना? LTV छोड़ दो, वो सब बराबर है क्योंकि गोल्ड का प्राइस ऑलवेज बढ़ता है, तो दैट इज ऑलवेज, इट इज नेवर ब्रीच, ये समझ लो. बट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट हियर इज that if I am enjoying or if I have availed the loan against the security of gold and that is in the nature of overdraft, this para 2.2 will apply. That is, if there is no credit or credit is insufficient to cover the interest charged during the 90 days time. फिर क्या करते हैं? एवरग्रीनिंग कैसे होता है? इन ओल्ड डेज वी नो KCC, एग्रीकल्चर केस क्रेडिट लिमिट जो देते थे, कभी पेमेंट होता ही नहीं सर, खाली वाउचर एंट्री होती है. हितेश भाई इज एग्रीकल्चर इज 50,000 इज गिवन ऑन ड्यू डेट, 50,000 रिसीव्ड, न्यू लोन इज क्रिएटेड. अब देखो ओल्ड डेज में सेम इज द केस विद गोल्ड लोन. एंड RBI had that apprehension that our ship is becoming Titanic so far as the loan against gold is concerned. One more typical issue is about what is the challenge to us, that is professionals, auditors in whatever capacities, that now banks are coming up with the new innovative products for financing. Private banks are starting and public sector banks are following the suit. Now the thing is, किसको पता है डिजिटल बिल डिस्काउंटिंग फैसिलिटी हुई है 3 प्लेटफॉर्म पे? यू नो सर? ओके. सो आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन अबाउट इट. For example, I am enjoying the case credit facility from X bank, State Bank of India, and I have availed the bill discounting facility on the digital platform. Digital platform में bill discounting इस तरह से होता है as if auction होता है, 90 days bills, 180 days bills. Whoever is giving us the better rate, right, the discounting will be done in that platform through that. Okay, the mechanism is good, sound. Now the point is, now here the point is, which requires our attention as the professionals, right, that I have availed 100 crore rupees working capital. Working capital is assessed on the basis of my projected projections, right? That ideally it should be on paid stock, and second is on the basis of receivables of the borrower. Earlier जो bill discounting होता था, sir, आपको पता होगा, वो if I am the borrower of the bank, and if I have raised the invoice to any company, right, to my debtor, who is my debtor, right, वो bill discount होता था. And now, to promote the MSMEs and to facilitate the MSMEs, bill discounting of supplier is started. Meaning thereby ये पूरा change. Now the thing is, if we understand, मैंने WRC को रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि यहाँ पे पहला क्लासरूम में जो बोर्ड रहता है ना, ऐसा रखो सर, आप जरा एक ऐसा कुछ करो, बिकॉज इन IIM Ahmedabad also we had the 8 or 9 sessions basically. Those professors are also writing on this blackboard only. The only thing is it is easy to explain. यहाँ पे लिखा है तो इंग्लिश लिखा है तो सबको पता है, मेरे से ज़्यादा पता है. The point here is where we were actually. Sir, in case I have availed the loan from one bank of 100 crore rupees, right? And that is say State Bank of India. And now the Punjab National Bank or Axis Bank or HDFC Bank has given me the permission of bill discounting on digital platform of 5 crore rupees. बराबर, आप देखो इसका far reaching consequences हैं, right? Why? Because now the question is whose bills we are discounting? Supplier of the borrower. The bank which will be discounting the bills, that will be the supplier of the borrower to whom this facility is sanctioned. That is without recourse. Suppose Nipam Bhai has raised one invoice to me. I am जो भी कोई credit rating जो है. We all know the credentials of credit rating also. Let us not go into that detail. ठीक है ना? But the point is, if Nipam Bhai has raised one invoice to me that I have to take, Nipam Bhai is MSME and he has raised that invoice to me. I am that triple B or whatever eligible company is there. Say for example ONGC, for example Tata's, for example Reliance, like that, big ship. So the point is that the working capital facilities which I am enjoying is with one bank, that is State Bank of India. And this bill discounting facility which I am enjoying is from Axis Bank. Is there any mechanism? And my stock statement, monthly stock statement, right? Nipam Bhai will be my sundry creditors. When I am submitting the stock statement to State Bank of India, Nipam Bhai will be my sundry creditors for that particular month. If 100 rupees is the stock and 10 rupees is the to Nipam Bhai to whom I have to pay, he will be my sundry creditors. My net stock will be 90 rupees. And after reducing the margin, whatever is agreed upon between the lender and the borrower, right, that will be my DP plus my sundry debtors. Now the thing is that if Nipam Bhai, I have permitted that platform to discount the bill of Nipam Bhai of 20 lakhs of rupees, right, Nipam Bhai will get the money. He will pay because my agreement with him is 90 days payment. And he is getting the fund today for which he is paying the discounting charges also. Right? So the point is, in my next month invoice, next month stock statement, right, Nipam Bhai, should Nipam Bhai be there or no? Because he has got the money, how come he is there? So instead of Nipam Bhai, my obligation will be to Axis Bank. Simple. कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं, बराबर। सर आप सब जगह पे देख लो, नंबर वन, in whatever way you are associated with the bank, in whatever capacity, take the simple example and look at it, wherein the bill discounting facility on digital platform is permitted. Now the second question, and that is again a real case which I am facing now, is the borrower is enjoying 700 crore rupees in consortium finance with one leading bank as the lead bank, right? And all the participant banks, 11 banks total, they have given him, that borrower, a limit of 25 crore each for bill discounting. So my first question to the borrower was, I was not aware of that, what is the digital platform? Because for 6 months I used to take the lecture because I was not the auditor anywhere, right? So whatever the new products are introduced during this 5-6 years time, right, the most important question here is, right, I will come to that conclusion last. The point is that all the consortium members have given the 25 crore each facility out of the consortium, number one. And the bill of Nipam Bai, which is discounted in case of bad event, it is without recourse. Nipam Bai कहा मैं क्या जानूँ, हितेश भाई से ले लो, मुझे मेरा पैसा मिल गया. It is without recourse. Where bank will go? Bank will come to me only. Right? So the point here is, मैंने first question उसको ऐसा पूछा कि whether this 25 crore rupees advance or bill discounting facility which is utilized by the borrower to the fullest in your bank as well as in all the participating banks, right? Don't you think that this is the double financing? This is also a red flag and early warning signal. And what we are doing generally, if we are the stock auditor or if we are the concurrent auditor during the year, except statutory audit, we don't look at the stock statement so thoroughly in case of big accounts. And my earnest request would be that we should look at the stock statement of each and every borrower at least twice in a year, that whether the DP is calculated correctly or not. In this case, what has happened, sir, that is very interesting. Why? Because this 25 into 11, 275 crore exposure was out of consortium, number one. 700 crore was the working capital which was assessed by the consortium, all the leaders, all the lenders, right? My DP is within the 700 crore. But my additional exposure of 25 crore, whether in case of any bad event or bad eventuality happens to the company, right, whether that will be part of your consortium or not, that was my first question. Answer is no, because it is at the sole discretion of the bank, right? They have given this facility. Obviously, it is out of consortium, number one. Number two, to arrive at the paid stock, whether these 275 crore availed by the borrower from all the lenders are reduced from the stock or not. That is number two. And number three is that in that particular case, the stock is negative to the tune of 500 crore. This is the real example I am telling you. मैं actually नाम नहीं दे सकता, ठीक है? So the stock is minus 500 crore for particular month. Now come to the receivable side. Receivable side, since the company was into the infrastructure project, so unbilled revenue of 900 crore was included in the sundry debtors. Unbilled revenue on which the DP is sanctioned and the borrower is utilizing this. Number three, that as we all know that what is the case credit? मैंने बताया था आप केस क्रेडिट के बारे में बोलना. मैं ऑलवेज कहता हूँ the RBI should at one go should stop this case credit facility. Why? Because though by its very nature it is payable on demand, it is never paid. Renewal, enhancement, taken over or gone. कभी होता है बंद? बताओ मुझे. But after this ILFS saga, some other day will discuss my experience with the ILFS audit when I did with the SBI. ठीक है, नहीं करते हैं अभी. The point here is that it is never paid, though it is payable on demand. Demand time liability में it is payable on demand. आज आप मुझे 10 करोड़ का केस क्रेडिट सैंक्शन करो, कल आप उसको रिकॉल भी कर सकते हो. And I am obliged to pay. If I am not paying, my account will slip to NP after 90 days. But it is never paid. And this particular product is in India and India alone. Worldwide, dekh lo. So after this ILFS collapse or the big companies collapse in mid 2020 or 2015-16 side, Reserve Bank of India came up with one classic directives, again regulator. Classic direction was that in case wherein the exposure is more than 150 crore, right, the 60% is to be paid. It cannot be perpetual. 40% he can utilize as a cash credit limit. Banks ने क्या किया? तो मैंने पूछा वो मैडम को कि मैडम वो क्या सर्कुलर था वो क्रेडिट ऑफिसर को, तो बोले सर वी हैव टू क्रिएट वर्किंग कैपिटल डिमांड लोन. ओ वंडरफुल. तो मैंने कहा एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वेदर बोरोवर विल पे दिस 90 crore rupees आउट ऑफ दिस 150, ही हैज़ टू सर, देयर इज नो डाउट अबाउट इट. मैंने कहा इज इट पॉसिबल कि अगर कोई भी करंट बिजनेस चालू हैं जिसमें द ऑपरेशंस आर गोइंग ऑन फुल फ्लेज, बिकॉज वर्किंग कैपिटल असेस्ड बाय द बोरोवर इज 150 crores with his margin, so 180 crore, 190 crore, 200 crore max. बराबर. At any point of time it is very difficult to carve out this 60% even for one day, sir. So the very purpose was that it has to be paid once by the borrower. मैं आपसे आज पैसा लेता हूँ, मुझे आपको एक बार 10 रुपये देने हैं, आप कल मैं वापस ले सकता हूँ. अभी बैंक्स ने क्या चालू किया सर? They started carving out WCDL for compliance of that directives of Reserve Bank of India. Fine. फिर 3 months WCDL. Suppose मैंने 150 crore आया अवेल, 90 crore is in the form of WCDL, 60 crore cash credit limit. Fine. 1st April 2024 को मुझे दिया, ड्यू डेट इज 30th June 2024. फाइन. 1st July से अगेन मेरा दूसरा WCDL हुआ. मैंने कहा फॉर दिस वन डे whether the borrower paid you 90 crore rupees, and that lady credit officer was so confident, and incidentally she was a chartered accountant. तो मैंने कहा ओके इसका नॉलेज होगा, तो मेरे दिमाग में वो जज नहीं डाइजेस्ट नहीं होता था. हाउ कम इट इज पॉसिबल टू carve out one day, even for one day 90 crore rupees. मैंने कहा सर मैडम एक बार दिखा दो मुझे, एक WCDL का पेमेंट मुझे दिखा दो, एंड फ्रॉम विच द पेमेंट इज रिसीव्ड. Otherwise, in big cases account, what will happen, sir, for multiple arrangement or the consortium finance, if I am utilizing and I have to pay Bank of Maharashtra 90 crore today, I will carve out from the State Bank of India for a day. If I have to pay to State Bank of India, I will carve out from the another player who is the member of the consortium. It is not at all possible. So this and the purpose, the very purpose of introducing this got defeated. And the unique products mainly in the nature of overdraft. The most important part is, again a classic example, that one in particular borrower account, the borrower had availed 2 crore rupees. मुझे याद दिलाना top up के बारे में. I will give you another example of top up. The borrower had availed 2 crore rupees of home loan. ठीक है, लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी. ओके, ही पेड सम 90 lakhs of rupees in one particular day of July 2024. From July onwards, he has not paid any interest, even installment, up to 31st March. Again, the account was nowhere appearing in any of the this thing, क्या बोलते हैं, overdrawings. आउट ऑफ ऑर्डर, ओवर ड्यू, किसी में भी ऐसे में 0, 1, 2. तो मैंने कहा हाउ कम इट इज पॉसिबल? बल्कि सर बोरोवर हैज पेड द एडवांस फंड. सो अगेन द सेम आर्ग्यूमेंट, द आउटस्टैंडिंग इज लेस देन द थियोरेटिकल बैलेंस. ओ बाबा वंडरफुल. एंड व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ IRAC? दैट इफ इंटरेस्ट एंड और इंस्टॉलमेंट रिमेन ओवर ड्यू. if I am making any lump sum payment towards my loan, suppose I have availed 2 crore rupees loan, and if I am paying 50 lakhs of rupees over and above my EMI, last time also probably we have discussed here, right? The obligation, why I pay? To reduce my interest burden, number one. Number two, then the next day, from next day onwards, my interest will be calculated on that after reducing 50 lakhs of rupees, simple. Right? Then as a borrower, what is my obligation? My obligation is either to pay remaining EMI as it is, or to request the bank to readjust the EMIs, keeping the tenor same. राइट, देर इज़ नो आंसर. किसी भी बैंक में जाओ यार, बैंक वही बताएगी, सर माई आउटस्टैंडिंग इज लेस देन थियो बैलेंस, दैट्स वाई इट इज़ नॉट अपेयरिंग एनी ऑफ दिस स्टेटमेंट. अरे बाबा, मैंने कहा इफ आई एम पेइंग 50 lakhs of rupees, दिस पर्टिकुलर लेडी टू हुज अकाउंट वी क्लासिफाइड एज NPA, by profession, by his name, by her name, I came to know that she is a doctor, Madam XYZ, right? And on July 24, she paid 90 lakhs of rupees. तो बोले, मैंने कहा ये 90 lakhs लमसम जो पेमेंट आया, that is transaction audit, because we have to cover that also. That is transaction audit. This 90 lakhs of rupees जो आया है, that has come from which account? As usual answer, sir, from her saving account. अभी क्या है कि बैंक के स्टेटमेंट हम देखें ना तो डिस्क्रिप्शन से पता नहीं चलता है. कभी कभी HDFC दिस UTR XYZ, कभी कभी ट्रांसफ़र फ्रॉम, ट्रांसफ़र टू, लाइक दैट, वॉट एवर इज द सिस्टम लॉजिक अप्लाइड. तो मैंने कहा कि गिव मी द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ दैट सेविंग अकाउंट ऑफ दैट लेडी. सेविंग अकाउंट, द आउटस्टैंडिंग वॉज 2000 सिंस लास्ट 2 years. And in last quarter I saw that is 1500 rupees for non-maintenance of minimum balance in the saving account. And there is no transaction. Then from where this 90 lakh came? The then manager told me, after some inquiry from his side also, that third party has paid on her behalf. अरे मैंने कहा तो फिर बिल्डिंग बेच नहीं दिया है ना. If third party has paid on your behalf and directly to your loan account, suppose I have availed housing loan, right, and I have to sell my property to you, knowing that there is outstanding with the Axis Bank, in that case what will happen? You will transfer the funds to my housing loan account, and after getting the NOC, right, we will come in, we'll enter into that Excel agreement. मैंने कहा who is monitoring this? ट्रांजैक्शन इंक्वायरी, सर इतनी बड़ी बैंक, इतना काम, स्टाफ का प्रॉब्लम, बराबर, ये सब तो हम सब जानते ही हैं, ऐसा होता है, ठीक है. देयर इज नो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, देयर इज नो स्पेस, देयर इज ट्रांसफर ऑफ द ऑफिसर, who did this mistake has been transferred to some other or got promoted, everything, right? But the transaction in the account, I will give you the clue, and I have been benefited out of this. The clue is what I am doing or what I have been taught by my seniors. It is not my invention basically. The point is, at the time of audit, particularly statutory audit, I will inquire about for the latest sanction or renewal document, number one, and number two, the transaction history. That is most important. This two is sufficient to tell how is the health of the borrower, right? And to look at some of the transactional behavior of the borrower. The case which we discussed, that 33 crore of the case collaterals, right? I went into, because I am the forensic interested also, I went into the further details. Then I came to know that 19 crore was made out of my bank's finance only. And remaining 14 crores, right, for 2 days, he arranged with some NBFC company. I have the documents available with me. Now the thing is, now we all know the concept of anywhere banking. You are sitting in Mumbai. If you approach anybody in any of the bank, that I want to set up one unit at the Gandhinagar, Gift City. और समझो कि Jamnagar, Rajkot. Right? They will arrange. Okay, sir, you will get the finance. Now the point is, in public sector bank, what is the modus operandi? There will be the appraisal. Who will initiate this proposal? The branch manager in whose branch the account is going to be parked, irrespective of fact that Hitesh Bhai is settled at Bombay or is settled at Bangalore, wherever he is. For example, Ahmedabad branch of one public sector company, public sector bank, initiated this transaction, this appraisal, right? It will go to controlling office, it will go to the respective competent authority for the sanction of the loan. Where the borrower is sitting as either Bangalore or Bombay. Where the account is operated from Ahmedabad. How the branch will or the controlling office, Ahmedabad zonal office, will be able to monitor the account on regular or day-to-day basis, only on the basis of transaction inquiry. Only on the basis of transaction inquiry. But this is not possible. So as a professional, what is expected of us is that we give some value addition. एवरी टाइम हम लोग मार्च में डिस्कस करते हैं कि भाई अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट इज रिड्यूसिंग बराबर. बट व्हाट इज द रीजन? समटाइम वी हैव टू इंट्रोस्पेक्ट ऑल्सो. concurrent audit, earlier we had the problem that the concurrent fees are so meager कि भाई किसी को interest ही नहीं रहता है, and the chartered accountant will send his assistant for full जो भी कुछ बैंक का करना है, and final for 2 days or 1 day or 3 days sitting at his office, he will finalize the concurrent audit report. Stock audit, what we are doing? One of the disciplinary cases coming up now. वीडियो में चेक किया है सर. आई एम सिटिंग एट मुंबई फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एंड माई बोरोवर टोल्ड मी दैट सर स्टॉक इज पार्क्ड एट कंडला पोर्ट. तो सर हम लोगों ने यहाँ से वीडियो कॉल से वेरीफाई किया है. द रिकॉर्डिंग इज अवेलेबल सर. सो मीनिंग देयर बाय आई एम नॉट ब्लेमिंग एनीबडी, राइट? बट द थिंग हियर इज that most important is there is no value addition, or we need to come out to some of this type of observation. मैं बोलता हूँ अपनी टीम को कि कभी भी ऑडिट में जाओ, मैं तो बैंक ही देखता हूँ और आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट कंपनीज एक्ट और इनकम टैक्स. हाँ सर. But the thing is, sir, it is important that in which category or in which capacity you are looking at this transaction, right? The point here is that you can give me anyway, even though we are not knowing each other, you can give me, you are my relative, you can give me funds, no problem. That is not anti-money laundering or anything like that. But the thing is that if you have given me this 90 lakhs of rupees and after that I am failing to pay my obligations to the bank, right? Then in that case it requires, in lighter sense I said to the branch manager, sir देखो building match तो नहीं दिया. That was in the lighter sense. The only point here is to look at first of all we have to identify our role. When I am going for the statutory audit, I am not the cost auditor, I am not the revenue auditor, I am not the stock auditor, I am not the concurrent auditor. Number one. Most important is regularly we are associated with bank in the capacity as the concurrent auditor only. So we are keeping that in mind, that insurance is underinsured, the hypothecation is not marked like this, like that. वो कोई मुझे पूछा था कि सर वो 3 महीने का स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट एक साथ में दे दिया, does it make any difference to you? Number one, you go with the transaction only. Whether the transaction on the basis of your analytical review of the transaction, are you satisfied that transaction is proper and correct? If answer is yes, leave it. with all these things. Report it in LFR, that is fine. But when you are going as a stock auditor, right, our perception should be changed totally. Now the point is that in that very particular case which we discussed for the consortium finance, the point is that on which basis, what is the working capital gap? That is current asset, current liability, right? Very simple, no Oxford this thing. Now the point here is that I have the stock of 100 rupees and the sundry creditors of 20 rupees. Many banks, especially State Bank of India started this when I was there. State Bank of India started with this maximum permissible banking finance, that is MPBF. So the argument was that whatever the 20 rupees which was envisaged at the time of appraisal of the working capital, right, that will be stagnant throughout the tenure of this loan. So my question is, so meaning thereby, in the next month's statement, if my sundry creditor is 16 rupees, for example, that will not be reduced from my stock to arrive at the paid stock and to, after reducing the margin, to calculate the DP. So my argument is that if this is the case, that this should not be reduced, the sundry creditors which were envisaged at the time of assessment of working capital, if we are not reducing the same from the monthly stock statement, in that case, why the same treatment is not given to the sundry debtors also? That is maximum permissible banking finance. The case which we discussed, in that case, trust me sir, unbilled revenue over and above unbilled revenue of 1000 crore, right? The 1700 crore was the sundry creditors which was not reduced because it was envisaged at the time of assessment of the working capital. It is a live case. So the point is that if I am being appointed as the stock auditor, right, my perception should be and my focus should be on the stock and the receivables only. Movement in receivables. Heavy credit in the current account or CC account. Another interesting case is about since RBI has already directed that bank, the borrower who is enjoying the case, there has to be one current account only, either CC or current account, whatever it is, right? आप जो भी बैंक देखते हो उसमें देखो 3-4 कस्टमर ऐसे हैं आज की डेट में कि they are enjoying the means they are operating the current account from the other bank also. And first and foremost argument जो मैंने first पूछा था for payment of the these government taxes, that is a problem. You cannot monitor. If I classify one particular account of cash credit on the basis of no transaction or credit is insufficient to cover the interest charge, right? तो आएगा कि सर इसके current account में इतना transaction है. Then why you are allowing him to maintain the current account with the same branch? Digital lending is a specialized branch function जो प्लेटफॉर्म पे करते हैं. If the State Bank of India Bandra Kurla branch has no facility of digital or designated branch is somewhere in the Nariman point, the borrower is utilizing the working capital facility from the Bandra branch and the bill discounting facility from the Nariman point branch. So the most important part here is that the capacity with which we are going or the terms of reference suggest us to look into these TOR only, terms of reference. We should stick to that only. Not necessarily that I am a statutory auditor, I will look at the statutory audit angle only. Right? Second, not necessary that I am the stock auditor, I will look at the from the revenue audit side only. That is all said and done. The only most important part, and my another stint with this is that since with the new innovation in the products, or most important is the last, before I conclude, right, is about the top-up of loans. Banks are taking over. That is a routine business, no problem. I am enjoying my home loan. I have availed my home loan from Axis Bank. Outstanding is 50 lakhs of 60 lakhs of rupees. HDFC will take over 60 lakhs of rupees. That is normal business. But Axis Bank will give me top up of another 1 crore rupees on the basis of my current valuation. That is a problem. In that case, we need to apply our mind that why this 1 crore rupees. Second is that since, as we discussed, that all the banks, religiously all the banks have now started financing by way of overdraft or case credit. Ideally, the case credit limit was used historically for the business purpose only. Now it is no purpose. Now it is no purpose. I am a chartered accountant, I have my own office. I want some cushion, कभी ऐसा कोई tip मिल जाए, I will invest in the company, right? And I will avail 50 lakhs of rupees by mortgaging that property, loan against property. Nature is overdraft. Checkbook facilities sanctioned, given, yes. I have used 2 lakhs of rupees. I have to pay this 50 lakhs within 50 months time, right? Within 3 months, I have utilized only 5 lakhs of rupees. But I only 2 lakhs of rupees. My outstanding is less than my drawing power, yes. But it is not my principal account from whom मेरे जो fees वगैरह जो रहते हैं, my business receipts or professional receipts or transactions are being done. Now I forgot that account. What will happen? Obviously, your account is, though even within the limit, it's a problem by that very definition. Some of the clarification which is required from regulators also, that is the need of the hour. The main and most important is about this digital platform, digital lending on these platforms. And that CP is also becoming titanic, trust me. It is a double financing, nothing more than that. My fight with the bank was that how I should consider this finance on digital platform as secured finance. How come it is secured finance? The person to whose bill you have discounted, that is without recourse. In case of any bad events, nobody, बोले sir this is for the AAA rating, और मैंने कहा जितने भी collapse हुए business houses in entire India, right? At some point of time on their peak, they were AAA or investment ranking only. Let us hope for the best, but at the same time, we should be ready for the worst also at that point of time. And most importantly, again, is the evergreening in the accounts. Banks will continue to finance the funds. उसका business ही यही है भाई, तो वो तो करेंगे. हितेश भाई का लोन बेड हुआ तो जयेश भाई को देंगे, ऐसा नहीं business बंद कर देंगे. It is not like that. But the thing is, and second, IRAC is totally automated, as I have already discussed. So now what is the value addition by all the professionals? What is the value addition by us? Unless and until we go into the transaction and we try to understand the behavior of the borrower, right, we will not be able to give value addition to the job which is assigned to us. And then at the same time, we are expecting that expecting that the scope should increase, opportunity to us should increase. And if I am the banker, I will also expect the value addition from you. Banks will always appreciate. Agreement, disagreement is a part of job. They are doing their duty, obviously. Suppose we would have been at that place. My principal always used to say that sometimes we have to see the things from the other side of the table. Right? But not in that sense, sir, उसका intention इतना clear, देखो phone किया immediately आ गया. वो behavior नहीं. Transaction behavior is very, very important and very, very crucial. Right? So with this, we'll have 5 minutes. If sir, as I think the speakers have come, right? They will discuss any issue, or if you think fit. Yes, madam. No, means deposit job. The main business of the bank is to accept the deposit from the public and to finance. Most important, in other audit, what we are doing, left hand side, whatever is wrong, that is okay. If liability is overstated, that is a cushion, it's a secret reserve. And all the banks religiously, That is a healthy sign. But so far as the deposit part is concerned, right, the most important part is, again it will take you to the asset side only, loan against the deposit, right? And second is about the overdue term deposit. And as an auditor, obviously, in a lighter sense, our fees are dependent on the asset side only, advances. It is not on the deposit. Yes, but if you are a concurrent auditor, obviously it is in your scope to verify that the deposits, the interest, the maturity, the payment, the accumulation, overdue deposit, everything, that is fine. Rest is inter-office account. Again, it's a separate topic. I will request Jayesh by some other day, he will arrange that program. Right? But mainly it is that. And second important part, before I conclude, is the non-fund based facility, bank guarantee or LC. In bank guarantee and LC, we know what happened with this Nirav Modi episode, LRs, which RBI stopped then. The only point is that if the bank guarantee is invoked or LC is devolved, somewhere it is observed in some of the banks that it is not debited to the principal account, current account, case credit account. It is parked in a separate account because it's a non-fund based turned into the fund based liability, right? In case of invocation or the devolvement of the LC, right? That is very, very important for that to mark the delinquency as an auditor. Right? It has to be parked in the principal account of the bank. Second is interchangeability. That is very crucial again. Interchangeability from fund based to non-fund is still okay. But non-fund based to fund based again should be looked at with the different view. I hope you understand what I mean to say. Will not elaborate for paucity of time. Right? But yes, the most important part here is that if it is in line with the sanction terms, that Hitesh Pomal is sanctioned 100 crore rupees case credit, 20 crore rupees bank guarantee or LC, Indian LC or foreign LC, and into bracket 25% interchangeability is permitted. In one of the classic case, right, I will just give you a brief of that the interchangeability was permitted from non-fund based to fund based. In my humble opinion, it is nothing but a restructuring. Simple. But if it is in line with the sanction terms, and to that extent, it is permitted. Right? So, with these, I hope I have come to your expectations and I have completed this entire thing. This presentation is already submitted. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.